You probably remember those children's relaxer boxes, the ones with kid models showing long, straight, healthy-looking hair. What a lot of people don't know is that many of those kids didn't actually have relaxed hair. Their hair was often just natural hair that had been straightened with heat for the photo. Since the natural hair movement really started growing in the 2000s, the side effects of relaxers have been talked about a lot more. More studies have come out, and things that were once ignored or brushed off are now being taken seriously. But even with all of that information out there, relaxers are still being marketed to children, often with little to no warning labels, and in many cases, no clear age limits at all. So, in today's video, I want to talk about why I personally think children's hair relaxers should no longer exist, and what the real risks actually are. Even today, only a minority of children's relaxers include age recommendations, usually saying 12 years and up. But if we're being honest, for decades there were no age limits whatsoever. If you go back 20 years, many relaxers didn't mention age at all, and some even used children under 12 as the face of their products. That's why so many adults today had their first relaxer while they were still in primary school. For a long time, especially before the 2000s and up until around 2014, relaxers were seen as the go-to solution for tender-headed kids or just for easier hairstyling. It was normal. Nobody really questioned it. And because it was so normalized, brands didn't feel the need to put age limits or proper warnings on their products. It wasn't until the natural hair movement really took off that people started questioning relaxers more seriously. Even now, despite experts saying relaxers shouldn't be used on kids under 12, there's still no official global age limit. Now, even if we accept 12 as the minimum age, we still need to ask, is that actually old enough? And to explain why I don't think it is, I want to compare relaxers to something most people are already careful with: hair bleach. 20 years ago, if a parent bleached their child's hair, people would stare and judge. But relaxing a child's hair, that was completely normal. What's interesting is that bleach has always come with clear warnings, age recommendations, and a long list of risks. Relaxers haven't, even though relaxers are actually more harmful to your health in the long run. Relaxers can cause many of the same issues as bleach, like scalp burns and hair damage, but they also come with extra risks. Over time, relaxers don't just affect the hair. They can affect the body. Studies have linked relaxer use to things like hormone disruption, earlier puberty, and a higher risk of fibroids. Fibroids are more common in Black women than in other demographics, and this is due to a combination of genetics, hormones, lifestyle, and environmental exposures. But here is the thing people don't speak about enough. Some environmental exposures, like chemicals in hair products, can influence how genes are expressed across generations, which sometimes makes a trait appear hereditary, even if the original cause was environmental. So while relaxers aren't the sole cause of fibroids, they may be one of several contributing factors that increase risk over time and across generations. And no, that doesn't mean every single person who's ever used a relaxer will have these problems. But when you look at the research, especially when relaxer use starts in childhood, the risks clearly increase. Now, a lot of brands try to make their products seem safer by labeling them as no lie. And while that sounds reassuring, no lie does not mean risk-free. Lye isn't the only harmful chemical in relaxers. No-lie relaxers are still chemical treatments, and they're still strong. They can still be absorbed through the scalp, and that's especially concerning for children, because kids have thinner scalps than adults. This is where chronic use comes in. A common argument is that relaxers are only harmful when used chronically, and while that is partly true, many people don't realize that a relaxer lifestyle cannot exist without chronic use. Chronic use doesn't mean how many times you relax your hair in 1 year. It means using relaxers repeatedly over many years. And the problem is, relaxers always end up touching the scalp, even if you try your best to avoid it. Root touch-ups are part of having relaxed hair. And every time the roots are touched, the scalp is exposed again. Technically, the only way a relaxer could never touch the scalp is if you never touch the roots at all, meaning you only relax the ends and let the roots stay natural. But most people with relaxed hair don't want curly roots and straight ends, and that's why relaxers turn into a long-term cycle and chronic use. And this is where my personal stance comes in. With all the information we have today, I genuinely don't believe there's a good reason to relax a child's hair. Yes, some kids might ask for straight hair themselves, but that's where parenting comes in. Health should always come before appearance. Beauty should not mean pain, discomfort, or long-term health risks. Parents today have so many alternatives. There are better products, easier routines, protective styles, and even non-chemical ways to straighten hair if that's what someone wants. Yes, some of those options take more time and effort, but extra effort is still better than risking a child's health. This might sound extreme to some people, but I honestly think the only real solutions are either banning the sale of children's relaxers or making it illegal to chemically relax children's hair altogether. That would finally stop how normalized this has become. And before anyone says that's unrealistic, remember that several African countries have already banned skin bleaching products, and those decisions were widely applauded, especially when you consider that in the past, some adults even use bleaching products on children. When it comes to children's health, taking strong action isn't extreme. It's necessary. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and if you've made it this far, a special thanks again. I know I rambled on for quite a bit. I hope I was able to stop at least one person from relaxing their child's hair. If you want to learn more about natural hair, or how Afro hair dysmorphia continues to affect the health of many, check out some of my other videos, and don't forget to subscribe for more Afro hair facts and history.